Morant. Ja Morant. All right. Pass it to Ja.
Yeah.
As Marky Ramone would say.
Mm-hmm.
And so tonight, all the time. So tonight they'll play the Cavs. 7 o'clock is a tip-off here on MMS and on the iHeartRadio app. If you're in town but not listening to the radio, you can listen to it on the app. If you listen to us on the app, tell me where. If you're out of state, out of town, whatever. Billy listens in Buffalo. Victor is a bureau chief in Santa Ana, California. Here come those Santa Ana winds again. And Charity is our bureau chief in Parachute, Colorado. We have friends that live in Boulder.
Yeah.
And holy cow, we were checking in on them every 12 hours over the break because there were hundreds of acres burning. Like you'd see these aerial photos of these subdivisions, like new plans, big houses, you know, and just burned to a crisp because of wildfires in Colorado. Pretty wild. Pretty wild.
Wow.
A couple weeks ago, before the break, we were talking about that girl who was making a lot of money by selling her farts. Nothing elegant about it, but she found willing participants, and she was cute, and she was on TikTok, and she had a lot of people paying attention to whatever she was doing, and she made a lot of news because it was such a silly story. She claims, this girl named Stephanie Motto, she had claimed that she was making $37,000 a week selling her farts, and she would kind of walk you through the process of how she would she'd have a jar. I don't know what her jar overhead was.
Probably not $37,000.
I think she was probably coming out on top.
Yeah, probably.
Unless these were like, you know, gold and diamond encrusted jars. So she would, for people who, I guess, who wanted to see the process, who were unclear about how this worked out, is she would have a jar and she would, put some ribbon on or something, maybe zhuzh it up a little bit.
I think she put some rose petals in there.
There you go, rose petals.
That the fart would just like kind of
absorb into the flower.
The petals. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she made a pretty good chunk of change.
Did anyone make the poo-pourri joke?
Nope. No one thought of it.
I mean, you just did.
I was just...
So I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
But, and she was super cute, but she ended up in the hospital.
Oh, fart failure.
Because...
that's a pun, Mary.
Yeah.
All right. Chill out.
I don't have fart failure anymore, I don't think. That one's long gone. Nevertheless, she's 31 years old, and she said she was having symptoms of a heart attack, that she had been experiencing shooting pains in her chest. So she goes to the doctor. They do an EKG. This is a girl that got famous on 90 Day Fiancé, so she wasn't somebody who just came out of nowhere. But for people who think that you get super rich being on reality television, here was a girl who sold her farts to make money after being on reality television. But they said that the symptoms were caused by excess gas, hoisted by her own petard, as it were, because of the diet she described, trying to create all these farts. Part of the tutorial there, if you will, tutorial, Mary.
There she is.
Was, is this girl was on a diet of beans and eggs and protein shakes and bananas and the whole bit, right? Because, listen, she's trying to control the means of production.
Did you know that beans were a magical fruit?
That's what I've heard. Mm-hmm. The more you eat them, the more you like them. Mm-hmm. I believe is how it goes. She thought she was having a stroke, whatever, goes to the hospital, and they go, well...
you have gas in your chest.
You have too much gas. Now, she just heard cha-ching, probably. How can I possibly have too much gas?
It's in your ribs.
That's money in my guts, all right? She started selling these farts in a jar last November after receiving requests. It wasn't even her idea. Invariably, if you get a hot girl on social media and you garner enough followers, someone will offer to purchase your fart.
I haven't had that yet.
Well, maybe it's something you should look into. She got requests on the adult content site called Unfiltered, which I hadn't heard of.
I've never heard of that either.
And she was selling them at $1,000 a jar. But she was offering a 50% discount over the holidays. Guys, the holidays are coming up, and I understand money might be tight. So that's why I'm dropping my fart jars down to $500.
$500.
Yeah. And so because she had to, keep the whole enterprise going, she had to have a high-fiber diet. And that jammed up her guts.
If you're not drinking enough water, fiber will screw your body up.
Yeah.
I'm sure they told her that.
You got it. Well, I don't know what they told her. Yeah, maybe the doctors told her after all this. But she was eating beans and eggs and all those other things I described, and she added protein shakes to the mix after discovering that it made them smell worse. And I guess that's what some people were requesting. Go, hey, you're never going to believe this. I bought one of these from you, and it doesn't smell like anything. See, this is the perfect scam. Because you go, you're not supposed to open it. You let it out. Like a ghost. And they go, well, then how am I going to know you did it? You just got to trust me. Would I lie to you for $500?
Come on.
She said, one day I had 3 protein shakes and a huge bowl of black bean soup. And that night, I felt a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I assume this is a single gal, by the way.
What do you know about pressure?
And she had a really hard time breathing, goes to the hospital. I didn't tell them about the farting jars I was selling, but I did tell them about my diet. And they said that what she was experiencing were intense gas pains. And this is where you paint yourself into a corner. This is the trouble here, is that this is a money-making enterprise, and she's got to keep that up.
No, she doesn't.
But
You
it's
quit whenever you want.
jamming up her guts. Yeah, but if you make that kind of money, and it's a renewable resource,
Yeah.
you want to keep making it. It's not like she's knitting hats.
It doesn't take that much time.
Yeah.
She's not knitting floppy, sloppy hats for Rasta Bill over there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I smell your fat man.
There you go. Ja Morant.
That's so big.
I think it's a good look. I think anyone who laughs at that seriously is missing the boat. So the doctors told her, just, be careful and shore up your diet. She said, I honestly could not believe the demand for this. And so now she's got to find a way to keep this whole thing going, but make sure that she doesn't end up back in the hospital.
I mean, does she need to fart more?
Don't know.
Because
To
it
let
sounds
it
like
out?
to let it out. Get the farts out.
She could also burp.
Fart the farts.
Her words for people and detractors and criticism is she says, I have a lot of people praising me, calling me a girl boss, which I 100% guarantee hasn't happened, telling me that I inspire them and that they should do what they can do. But I have even received death threats from people. Boy, people have really devalued the death threat.
Yeah, people.
Well, okay.
To go right to the death threat?
They have devalued it, but I think that is it really a death threat if someone says kill yourself, or are they actually saying I'm going to kill you and your family?
I don't know. Is that what you want to play around with?
No, but I think that some people
Crazy people
I think-
out there. Most of them armed.
Right, but I think there are a lot of people saying kill yourself, and they're like, well, that's a death threat.
That's what
Where
I'm
it's
saying, is that people take
that's
it a
not
little-
a death
no.
threat. That's
It's
just
a death wish.
It's a death suggestion.
Yeah,
A death suggestion.
but it's not a death threat.
Yeah.
I feel like death threats, that term gets thrown around a lot, and I wonder how often people are actually sending threats versus saying, I wish you weren't here anymore, which is still a very mean thing to say.
Yeah. Well,
It's not a
I
threat.
just want you to just be somewhere else.
she's trying to, gas prices are through the roof, and she's trying to.
Her gas is the most expensive gas.
Right.
Way more than.
There you
Doesn't
go.
even sell it by
Biden.
the barrel.
Yeah.
People are calling Bill a Rastafardian. And what's the matter with that, quite frankly?
I don't want to be appropriating anyone's culture, though.
But you
Fart
would only be,
culture?
I was going to say, you only be appropriating fart culture.
Which I am
You're a part of.
proponent of. Yes, I am definitely a part of fart culture.
I respect her integrity to satisfy her customers, somebody said. Yeah, I do too. I mean,
I do too.
There's nothing in
Put
this...
her life on the line for the whole
There's
thing.
nothing in this article I read that
least
says
her
that
health.
she's backing off on it.
Just backing up.
Alan, you don't have to worry about the violent ones who don't vocalize their threats. Oh, you have to worry about them. They're silent but deadly. Right. Yeah. So listen, I hope she's doing okay, and I hope that she gets that whole thing squared away. I was reading about a woman that they got out of a COVID coma by giving her Viagra. You know, it was originally developed as heart medication, and they realized it gave guys boners. Everybody knows the story of Viagra by now. That it was kind of a happy accident when Pfizer was working on a heart medication.
Is that what Bob Ross was talking about? With happy accident?
Happy little accidents. I'm going to draw a couple of boners here. And yeah. The Bob Ross tapes. No, this woman who was in a coma from COVID for almost a month, and the nurses gave her a Viagra to treat her. They had already turned off the ventilator. They were ready to say sayonara to this woman. And the doctors gave her Viagra. And of course, it was, big joke. But it ended up saving this woman's life.
Yeah, because laughter is the best medicine.
Does it have an effect on women? Make you all slippery?
It had an effect on this woman. Oh, not in that way. No, not that I don't think
it
that's...
just improves circulation.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It might make your protuberance more turgid.
Your turgid protuberance be more turgid.
Try one.
She was in a coma from the middle of November, and they told her situation was so dire that they told her parents to come from Portugal to England to say their goodbyes. She was 37. Dang. It is weird that people who are dying. I was reading about some woman who, GOP rep from Southern California who was very verbally anti-vax and the whole bit, and she just died, and she was 46. So I don't know if there was, I don't know what the deep dive is on that, but that's pretty young.
Yeah, that's young.
But this woman got Viagra because apparently she had agreed to try some experimental drugs. And they said Viagra, they didn't give her horse paste. These doctors are like, well, listen, this is what Viagra was originally intended to do, is expand your blood vessels. Maybe that'll help her. With your air sacs, right? I mean, you got, that's what they're saying about Omicron.
Maybe that Viagra's also what... this fart girl needs to expand her air sacs.
Hers are all full. They need expanding.
All full of air. That's what they're saying about Omicron, is it burns out much faster if you talk to people who've had it. I've had it, but I was asymptomatic.
Now, here's my question. How do you know which variant you had? They didn't tell me. They just said you're positive for COVID. They didn't say it was Delta or Omicron or whatever.
You have to do the quiz on BuzzFeed.
I didn't know that. Nobody sent me a link.
Right. Tell me which Friends character you identify with, and we'll tell you which COVID variant you've had.
Right.
Tell me your favorite bagel flavor, and we'll tell you which variant you've got.
That's what I don't understand, because there has to be a way to differentiate, right?
Yeah.
But they don't tell you which one it is. You just assume I have this one because that's what's going on right now.
Yeah, I think so. And frankly,
before we go any further,
what
is your favorite bagel flavor?
Onion.
Onion. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll go onion every day of the week, but a lot of places don't have onion, so I get stuck getting everything. But onion bagel, cream cheese with just some salt and pepper on there, baby. Oh, so good.
So have you been impacted by the cream cheese shortage?
I can't eat cream cheese. I haven't had real cream cheese in
but
like 5 years.
But you just said cream cheese on your bagel.
Fake vegan cream cheese tastes like Play-Doh. It's the best I can do.
Ugh, that's so bad.
It's really bad. Vegan cream cheese is awful.
I bet there's no shortage of that.
No, it's $9 a carton. Whatever you want, as much as you want to spend on it.
Yeah.
You can get that, or you can just get some caulk.
Dude, I haven't had bagels in forever because of that. There's one, it's called, I think I've mentioned it before, it's called Kite Hill, Kite Hill. And there, it's okay, but it is like $7 for a very small thing of this, because it's made from like cashews or almonds or something.
Not a big bagel guy.
But what's your favorite flavor of bagel?
Blueberry?
That's mine.
Is it?
I love
I
guess.
guess.
Like a plain or a blueberry. I don't like getting all that
What do you
wild.
put on blueberry? You put butter and jelly on there? Because a blueberry with butter and jelly is probably second to onion with cream cheese, salt, and pepper.
I like-
Butter and jelly.
like
Why
blueberry
why
with-
not just jelly?
Because the butter soaks into the bread. And then when you bite, it's like a flavor explosion.
Butter and jelly.
Put the
Yeah, I
butter
just
on
do
while it's still hot,
You're
right when it
wild
Plain
comes
cream
out.
cheeses. I like the whipped cream cheese. It
Yeah.
smooths around faster or better.
Yeah, I would eat a quarter of a bagel if I were going to eat a bagel.
You suck. You're so boring.
So, but it's why do I need all that bread?
This is exactly what I'm
Because
talking
they're
about.
bagels. That's what
It's a
you're eating.
bagel.
It's a
That's
bagel.
the whole point of a bagel
Yeah.
is that you want
And it's
a
not,
bread.
Bagels aren't gigantic. You get like a bagel.
They're
Regular
unnecessary.
We're not talking about the necessity of the bagel. We're talking about just enjoying a bagel.
I do, but I enjoy a half of a half.
Enjoy a quarter.
I enjoy a C.
All right, wait.
A capital C of a bagel is what I'll eat.
Do you mean like a bagel with both sides? Or
No,
I'm sure
split
you.
in half bagel and then half of that, a quarter of a bagel.
Sliced through the middle, like the
Yes.
long way, like you if
Yes.
you were going to make a bagel sandwich.
Jeez.
And I would cut one of those halves in half. Now, if I found it to be particularly delicious, I might eat the other half of one half, right? But I
I
don't.
could eat 12 bagels.
I don't know. It's just. It's like it just sits like a rock in your stomach.
That's the point,
You
Alan.
always work. You're always thinking about how it sits and not how
It
it
tastes.
tastes.
That's clearly more important.
No one cares about how it sits. It's about how it tastes.
Yeah, but I would rather have something that tastes good and then is not a rock in my stomach. A bagel might taste good for 10 seconds and then it's in your gut for 4 hours. I don't
But what are
need that.
you doing worrying about?
That's called a cost-benefit analysis, and it's all off there.
Well, why don't you live in the moment a little bit more and quit worrying about
I do
consequences?
live in the moment. The moment is I don't want to sit there with a gut full of bread balls. Ugh, no thanks. Who needs that?
Quarter
Hey,
of
it's
a
just me,
bagel.
man. I mean, you know, I'm not. I
All right,
already
but
said not a
what's
bagel
your-
guy.
What quarter of a bagel are
What
you going to eat?
flavor
What
you going
flavor?
for?
I mean, probably blueberry or something.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, everything bagel's fine. My wife buys this everything bagel seasoning. You know,
Yeah.
she
I like
loves
that stuff,
bagels,
yeah.
and yeah, she loves that stuff. It's not for me. So I would have a quarter of a bagel. I would probably opt for peanut butter, maybe.
On
Instead
a
of-
plain bagel?
Yeah,
Or on a-
maybe.
yeah, or on a blueberry bagel.
Yeah, maybe.
Ooh, that would actually
Peanut
be
butter
good.
blueberry.
I mean, peanuts go with anything, right?
sure.
Yeah.
Are you making your own peanut butter? You're smashing it so you get just the right amount of oil to nut ratio?
No, I'm buying. Oil to nut.
There is such a big difference between Jif peanut butter and that homemade stuff.
Natural peanut
Like,
butter.
Natural
yeah.
peanut butter. You're
You
like,
got to stir
well,
it
this
every
is-
time because it separates.
Yeah.
Yeah, it separates and it's
Not
it's
good.
okay.
There's no sugar in it.
It's okay, but you get some good Jif. You're like, whew,
Jif creamy, baby.
this could just be a meal. It could be a dessert.
Ew,
It's
do you
anything.
like crunchy peanut butter, Alan? Are you
Yeah,
a crunch?
extra crunchy peanut butter.
Ugh.
I don't
Why
eat.
not
I
you
don't,
eat the peanuts?
I don't eat peanut.
Just put dried peanuts on the
Yeah.
bagel.
I usually will eat peanuts. I eat very little peanut butter because I don't make sandwiches or anything like that. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, if
Because of all the
Too
bread.
much bread. Yeah.
well, it's too much bread. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't eat a lot of bread. Like, what do I need bread for?
Deliciousness.
I get my grains elsewhere. I don't
Where?
do
Bread's
Huh?
so good, though.
What do you mean where?
Where do you get your grains?
You get quinoa and you get.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loves some quinoa.
I
Yeah,
do.
that's a
That's
good
like the exact
sandwich.
opposite of like. That's like, yeah, it might sit in your stomach and you won't feel like you ate a brick, but the pleasure is nil.
Gone.
You're getting no pleasure from quinoa.
I'm not
Quinoa's not good.
Well, I'm eating quinoa to get my grains. I'm not eating it because it tastes awesome. I mean, you know, it's what do I care?
What a disciplined man you are.
Well, what do you want from me? It's how I was raised. It's
fine.
You know,
It's fine.
I'll have a couple of
You
bites
need
of
to unlearn
something.
these ways.
Huh?
You can unlearn these ways. though.
I have no
You
interest in
expand
unlearning
your
these. No,
horizons.
it's been fun.
Expand your stomach.
I don't want to
That's what you
expand my
need to do.
waistline or my stomach or anything.
2022 Polar Blast Challenge. If we do it.
No,
we're
we're
not
not. You
doing
mean
it.
2023 Polar Blast
2023.
Challenge.
2023.
2023.
2023. Your punishment is that you have to eat a bagel every day for a month.
Every day. I could
stupid.
eat a bagel every day for a
I
month.
want Alan to get fat.
If that were my punishment,
God, getting fat's so awesome.
but I wouldn't get fat because I would do whatever I had to do to make sure that weight didn't stay on me.
whatever. No grains.
I would have to offset it.
That's your
No
punishment.
grains.
All right, your
No
punishment,
quinoa.
your
But
punishment
now those
is you
are
have to
fighting
get
words.
fat. That's what the punishment
Yeah,
is.
you have to
gotta
gain
45 pounds.
Oh, let's go 25.
No.
Yeah, fat people all look so happy. They love life.
We've been
jolly.
over this.
They
We've been
look.
over
Oh,
this.
they look. Oh, they love it.
The
Like,
process
it looks
of
like you're
getting
loving
fat.
life right now.
Yeah,
I got no
Mr.
problem with
Quarter
life.
of a bagel.
What do I care?
The process of getting fat is awesome, where you get to eat all the good food and all the fat and the burgers and all of it. And
Of
it's
course.
delicious. Yeah, that's what you get
But
to
that's
do.
a much, much shorter period of time than the being fat time.
That's up to you how long you're fat. You just have to get fat.
That-
We don't care how long you are fat.
Yeah. We didn't say you have to stay fat. You
Right.
just have to get
What
fat.
constitutes getting fat?
I think for you, 25 pounds would
Yeah.
actually be fine.
Oh my God,
You have to hit
25 pounds.
200.
Oh, I lost 10 over the break.
I found it.
25 pounds. Christ on the cross.
Yeah, that's your punishment. You have to get fat.
I had no interest in that.
Well, you have to, or you're fired.
Or you're fired.
You know what actually would keep you from getting fat? If you gain some weight, then you'd be faster down the hill.
Not
Nah.
also true.
Fat people love telling themselves that. All of a sudden, they're all physicists. Physicists? Physicists?
It's true. I'm
I won last year, though.
yeah, but your whole team won.
I won
But you wouldn't
I
beat me
beat
down the
Cody.
hill. Yeah, but look at him.
in a foot race. Don't sigh at me. That was what happened. Check the tape.
And that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I want different energy.
He is on a different energy, isn't he?
Yeah.
For 2022. It's a new year. It's a new him.
He's just sitting in that room trying to remember exactly what the first fact of the day was.
It's a trivia question.
Are we doing that now?
Oh, I got to go to a break.
Okay.
Alan, how dainty is your stomach that you can't handle eating a whole bagel? I never said couldn't handle eating a whole bagel. I have no interest in
chooses
eating a
not
whole
to.
bagel.
Are you a pansy, Alan?
No, I just have no interest in eating an entire bagel. That's a lot of bread. That's why some people scoop out the middle of the bagel. They can make a sandwich and that they scoop out some of that bread. They go, I like the taste of a bagel. Don't eat all the nonsense.
All we're saying is nobody fun does that. We're gonna make you
Fair
eat,
enough.
eat bagels wearing your Captain
Yeah.
Fun cape.
Yeah. All right. FAT equals FUN. All right, let me take a break. You want to get a text for anything? 35192. You can listen anywhere on the iHeartRadio app.